In this video, I'm going to be breaking down 3 signs that you will be successful on YouTube, as well as a cool trick for coming up with video ideas and titles that get views, and how to build unstoppable momentum of subscriber growth and views on your YouTube channel. But hey, if we're just meeting, my name is Cannell. I'm the author of the best-selling book, YouTube Secrets, and my passion is helping you with the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. I've been on YouTube for well over a decade now, and I have interviewed, along with Benji Travis, the co-founder of another channel of ours, over 100 of today's top video creators and video influencers to learn their secrets and their strategies so I could pass that information along to you and help you succeed faster. So thanks so much for being here on this video. We're gonna dive straight into the content. If you're here live, what's up, Fazy? What's up, Mayhewel, Mark, Tamil? Good to see you. Hey, we're gonna dive into this. What are the signs that you're gonna be successful on YouTube? We're gonna get to those today. But if you're new here on Think Media, our mission is helping you build your influence with online video and social media. We actually are based here in Vegas, and we're a movement of creators based in Las Vegas, reaching around the world, and we're building a community of purpose-driven, future-focused entrepreneurs and business-minded content creators that realize we're living through the greatest communication shift in the last 2,000 years and want to maximize this moment in history so that ultimately we can grow our influence, right? We can generate income and make a living, but also so we can make a difference. And so thank you so much for being here. And in this video, we're talking about the 3 signs that you will be successful on YouTube, how to build unstoppable momentum, and then this cool trick for coming up with video ideas that get views and stand out. And also, I'm going to be giving away 2 copies of YouTube Secrets. There's details in the YouTube description about when the contest will end. All you have to do is leave a comment answering the question of the day, and I'll be picking out 2 of the best comments about that, and we'll send you out a copy of YouTube Secrets to the winners of that. Hey, 3 signs you will be successful on YouTube. Let's get into it. Before we get into it, hey, as we get into this, if we're new and maybe you've been here for a while, in fact, let me know, how long have you been a part of the Think Media community, or maybe when did we first meet? Maybe over on Video Influencers. Hey, Math Magics, good to see you. Alanda, let me know when we first connected. But as I think about, what are the skills, what are the attributes, the habits, the mindsets, what are the signs that you'll be successful on YouTube? And we've had the privilege now, not just from some content on this channel, but over on Video Influencers, we've been interviewing some of today's top creators. We've been connecting with different entrepreneurs at different events and really studying the best practices, as well as we've got to now work with thousands of creators like you that are in our communities, that are part of our courses and some of our advanced training. And so we've really been able to identify some of these signs. And I've been studying success, and I really believe success leaves clues. And so whether that means who we've interviewed or whose books we've read, and on that journey, I've come up with a couple of signs that are, surefire signs that you will make or break you when it comes to YouTube, right? And so the first one is they start before they're ready. They start before they're ready. Might seem basic, and I'm talking through the 7 C's of YouTube success. This one's based on courage. They start before they're ready. What's amazing is I see a pitfall that a lot of creators fall into is they compare their beginning to somebody else's middle. And so what we see someone today, now that we're subscribing to them, now that they're getting views, now that they're blowing up, now that their business is growing, and we're like, man, they've got a skill set and they've got intelligence and they've got knowledge that they must have just been born with. And we compare ourselves when we're starting to when they're in their middle. And that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Behind anyone who's now currently successful is a lot of stress, sacrifice, failure, to be honest, those short-term failures that happen over and over. You've probably heard me say that the master fails more times than the amateur has even tried. So those that have reached that, man, a lot of people that may have a successful YouTube channel, they might be like me. They have 4 other ones that failed, that were lessons that helped me learn the path so I could help you go further faster, right? And so they start before they're ready. And we're not going to spend too much time here, but you got to just start. You have to punch fear in the face, punch perfectionism in the face. And here's another thing I want to challenge you with is what I mean is they have a habit of diving in before they have all the information. You know, I heard about Amazon.com that aggressive hypergrowth businesses sometimes make critical decisions with lots of money on the line, with lots of resources on the line, when they have as little as 60% of the needed information. You might ask, Sean, how can I know for sure what my future holds? You can't. How can I know for sure if I invest over 100 hours in YouTube this year, a couple hundred hours in YouTube this year, if it'll pay off? You can't know for sure, but what you can know is that this is one of the greatest moments in history to be a creator. What you can know is that there's people that have paved the path, and so you can follow a proven framework to help you go further faster. And nothing's for sure, but you got to start before you have all the information. You got to start before you have all the confidence. You got to start before you actually have arrived at that place. And it actually kind of reminds me, because sometimes people think, Sean, dude, were you like just born with a video camera and like speaking on stages? And it's like, absolutely not. Of course, different people have different starting DNA and proclivities and gifting or whatever. But I was like, no, I freaking worked, bro. Like I've put in the time, man. I've listened to communication CDs and been involved in my local church and spoke a bunch of times real bad and been put out a bunch of videos. Your first videos are going to be your worst videos. And even after I was on YouTube for years, I eventually uploaded a video to my Sean Cannell channel, which I don't do a ton on today. And I just want to play this briefly for you, just to encourage you again, start before you're ready. Check this out.
All right, so this is, I guess, the first Sean Thinks vlog, and I'm going to try to vlog every single day, mainly so I can remember what I'm even doing and what's going on, because I just feel like I have a lot that I'm thinking about, and I figured, hey, why not share it? And if you find something interesting, that's awesome. Now, this is definitely as real as it gets, so I'm not going to try to be energetic or entertaining. Though maybe sometimes I will. But anyways,
I tell you what, man, your first videos are going to be your worst videos. But to be honest, that is one of my favorite videos. Why? Because it's so ridiculous. I mean, I'm not going to try to be energetic. By the way, being energetic and being entertaining are two good things. You know what I mean? Like, my strategy was clearly wrong with my first video, but I started. And then I just kept posting, and then I just kept going. And so in our book, YouTube Secrets, the first C of the 7 C's of YouTube success is courage. You have to just step out. And courage is not something that's just going to pounce on you one day, that's just going to come from some ethereal place. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is actually saying, I'm scared, I'm worried about this and that and the haters and what my high school person might think about this that doesn't even know what you're doing. And I'm worried about what other people are thinking. It's like, no, it's moving forward despite the fear you already feel. So punch fear in the face, punch perfectionism in the face, and press record, which brings us to the second sign that you'll be successful on YouTube after you just start and you start messy and you start ugly, is you got to start with the end in mind. Like, the creators that will be successful start with the end in mind. They don't just start randomly. Now, actually, they probably do just start randomly, because you don't need to have the end in mind to upload your first video. You can upload your first video today. You got a smartphone, you can do it, shoot it, go to Starbucks, upload it on Wi-Fi if you don't have Wi-Fi, but if you're watching this, you obviously have some sort of Wi-Fi. So get your first video up, but then you need a plan. You got to have, what is the end goal of you being on YouTube? What is the end thing that you want to achieve? Because having clarity is the key to organization in your life. And success and momentum, right? Having clarity about where you want to go. Because if you don't know where you're going, how will you know when you get there? And if you don't know where you're going, listen to this, how can anybody follow you? To be honest, to be a YouTube creator is to be a leader, is to be a thought leader, is to put your ideas into the world, your voice into the world, your message into the world, and to ultimately serve other people. Therefore, people need to follow you and subscribe. But how can anybody follow you if you don't know where you're going? And if you're clear with your going, if you know where you're going, when I land on your YouTube channel, does it make sense what this channel is about, what kind of content it has, how it's going to help me, where you're going? So I could say, okay, I want to follow you. Like, maybe I want to get in shape. Okay, your channel is going to help me get in shape. I want to follow you. Oh, like you're going to help me learn about the news and current events and help me avoid all the BS and get right to the important information. I want to follow that. But if you don't know where you're going, how will you know when you get there? And when I think about this, I think about the difference between going in circles and going in a clear path. A lot of people that are struggling on YouTube are kind of just going in circles. It's like Albert Einstein's quote of insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, hoping to get a different result. And if you feel like you've been stuck in going in circles, maybe it's because you're just wandering doing the same things. Well, Sean, how do I get out of just the loop of circles and onto a clear path? Well, you got to actually, I would say, look to pioneers who have pioneered different paths. Who are you studying? What are you reading? Why try to reinvent the wheel? And at some level, everyone's path's different because like there's different business models. We teach like 10 different business models you can build on YouTube. You could be an entertainer. You could be an educator. There's a lot of different paths, but guess what? There's someone who's written a book that has created that comedy channel, that has done that vlog, that is, and you know what you could do is you could reach out to them. You know what you could do is you could start a podcast and start talking to all of the people, and they're not all going to say yes. Well, reach out to 100, 10 will, and talk to all of the people doing what you want to do. And they could say, hey, oh, no, don't do that. That caused me to go in a circle for 2 years. Do this instead. And that's going to save you time. Your goal is to compress decades into days because there are people, and like, I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for the books I've read that are all behind me on this shelf and over 2,000 in my house, for the conferences I've attended, to the YouTube videos I've watched, to the podcasts I've listened to say, I want the shortcut. I want the clear path. I don't just want to wander in circles. If someone has already spent 10 years wandering, 15, 20 years wandering, and they know how I can speed up, not make it overnight, but just go faster, avoid the pitfalls, avoid this thing over here. The best investment you can make is investing in yourself, your skills, your learning, and ultimately making a decision to start with the end in mind and then be fierce about pursuing clarity for your YouTube channel. So we're talking about what are 3 signs that you'll be successful on YouTube. The first one is you're going to start before you're ready. You have that courage, because if you never start, you can never succeed. The second one is starting with the end in mind. If there's no clarity, then there's only going to be confusion, and there's no way you can win online. If you're confused, your followers are definitely going to be confused. You got to push for massive clarity. All right. Hey, if you're getting value, can you smash like on this video? We've got another tip. And actually, in just a second, I've got a cool way to come up with video ideas, that bonus strategy I told you about. And so, hey, if you're getting value, smash like. Super pumped to be hanging out with y'all. Joshua, good to see you. Pat, Coffee with Kayla. Let me know what you're thinking about this content. And number 3, they commit to the process. This is the consistency C that we talk about in YouTube Secrets. They commit to the process. There's 5 reasons why consistency is so important in YouTube that we're going to get to. But a sign you're going to be successful on YouTube is a commitment to the process. A commitment to the process. It's knowing at the beginning there's actually a verse, right, by Jesus that says, hey, if you're going to build a tower, he actually says this, nobody builds a tower without counting the cost first, because you might start the project and then run out of money before you can complete it. So it's like, if this tower, if you're going to build a house, it's going to cost $100,000 and you didn't have the money, you wouldn't just start and be like, oh shoot, we ran out at 60,000. There's no roof, whatever, we'll just live here. So there's something about a mindset shift that show me, because I've now got to connect with so many in the Think Media community and so many in our Video Ranking Academy community, all these different people. I've got to connect with so many people, and I can tell if someone has kind of a dabbling mindset versus the people that have a dominating mindset. And it's just a mindset. It's a decision. It's like a switch to say, you know what? I'm going to stop playing safe. I'm going to stop. I'm not just going to have this be a hobby anymore. And it's fine if it is a hobby. I'm not trying to tell you to do anything. But if you just want to have fun on YouTube, then you should. But this channel, and especially who we know we can serve the most, are those people that are serious. The people that know I'm moving out of a dabbling mindset and I want to start dominating, and I'm going to commit to the process. If you research starting a small business, for example, it's well-known knowledge that you'll invest money in a business and it won't be profitable for 2 to 3 years, right? It won't be profitable for 24 to 36 months. So what that means that when a couple gets a dream to start a local business, when an individual gets a dream to launch a business on Etsy and start selling some of their artwork, when someone wants to start doing any kind of entrepreneurial endeavor, going into it, it's like, when you make that decision that I'm going to have to put my blood, sweat, tears into this project, and that I might not see the profit for years to come. This is common knowledge. Like, that's just like the cost of entry, the success tax for getting honestly into anything significant, right? It's going to take time. But what happens is when we're just kind of in a dabbling mindset, we post a video here, we let ourselves get talked out of it here. We know I'm empathetic, but we know because we got school and we have all these other things, YouTube's not really a priority. But the problem is, if you're not showing up consistently and committing to being consistent when it's hard and when it costs you and when it feels like it's uphill and when honestly it's harder than it ever will be, to be honest, because you're doing like 14 things and trying to build a side hustle. But if you don't stay committed, then you're never going to get that momentum. So I want to encourage you, a sign of those who are going to be successful on YouTube is someone that said, I'm not just like dabbling anymore. This isn't just a hobby. I'm turning pro. And that's actually a book I really love to recommend by Stephen Pressfield. It's called Turning Pro. And it's choosing to finally say, I'm going to take responsibility for my art, my message, my voice, my channel, and I'm going to go all in on this thing. Thank you so much, Trevor, for that super chat. And thank you, Book of Alpha, for the super chat as well. Appreciate it. And so stop dabbling and start dominating. And here's why consistency is so important and why this is such a sign of success. And I'll share that title and video idea hack in just a second. The first one is that consistency builds confidence. Consistency builds confidence. You might say, Sean, how do I get confidence? You actually don't get it sitting on the couch. You don't get confidence really reading about it. Like, that can help. You get confidence from taking action. And psychology has revealed for us what's called the confidence competence loop, that when you step out and you put out a bad video like I did, then you go, well, at least I got a video out, and you might feel embarrassed about it for a second, but then you're like, wow, I got a video done. I actually put something out. And then you get your second video out. And then after a year, if you put a video out a week, you're like, I have 52 videos out, man. Like, that's more videos than my neighbors. That's more videos than my lazy cousin. That's more videos. Even if you're not getting views, you're putting in the work. So like, confidence is like a muscle. It grows over time. But how it grows is a little bit of information, but a lot more of action. By taking massive and perfect action, you start saying, man, I got something to show for this. Now I got 100 subscribers, man. Now I got 200 subscribers. That momentum builds up your confidence, just like going to the gym and lifting weights would build muscles. The second thing is it does build your competence. Like, I put out, I hope, decent videos today because I put a lot of videos that were really bad out over in the past. I now know that I've done over 2,000 videos for myself, for clients, for my church, edited, exported, uploaded, accidentally, had the computer crash, forgot to save, forgot to have the mic on, whoops, shot again. I've put in some time. And so my competence, my skill level grew because I was passionate about mastery and studying the greats, and success leaves clues. And I was passionate about taking massive action. So this is what I want to encourage you. I think that we need to just plant a flag and say, if you're going to move from dabbling into dominating, you got to upload a video a week. Let me call you out. You got to upload at least one video a week. You got to commit to that, because you need confidence. You're like, but Sean, I need the confidence. That's how you're going to get the confidence, because you're going to say, you'll have inner integrity that says, I committed to something. I followed through with it. And guess what? Like, if you then go, oh, I missed a Tuesday, and your videos always come out on Tuesday, but then you just jump right back on the horse and you're on it. Dude, who cares if you miss a week? We're talking about macro consistency. Like, if your goal is to do a video a week, and at the end of this year, you only upload 48 videos and not 52, freaking pop the bottle and like get the yacht and fly the, what am I even saying? Like, celebrate it, man. Like, just go crazy. But you have to take action And that's why consistency is so important. When you commit to being consistent on YouTube, the first thing it's going to do, it's not going to get you views. It's probably not going to have growth happen. You're in a season of growing your confidence. You want to actually use your season when you're not getting views to prepare you for the season when you are. Use your season in obscurity to prepare you for popularity. So when you're consistent and you commit to posting a video a week, right? Consistently sharing that video on social media, building up your skill sets, that's going to grow your confidence. That's going to grow your competence. It's also going to grow trust. It's going to grow trust with your audience. The only way you can be trustworthy is if you ultimately are a man or a woman of your word. Okay? I mean, true, right? Because if you say something and you don't do it, it's like you got that friend who's like, yeah, man, I'm going to come. Oh, you're moving this weekend? I'm going to come help you. And then you text them that morning and for some reason, oh, my phone broke. Well, dude, you knew I was still moving, man. I mean, but like if someone says they're going to do something and then they do it, that's how you actually build a brand of trust, integrity, and a reputation. That's the key to success in any kind of business or endeavor. Like if I pay money at Chipotle today and I order that extra guacamole, I want to get my burrito, my guacamole, and my chips to dip all the stuff that fell out of the burrito. It's kind of like a second meal right after that first meal. Let me know if you can get an amen to that one and you love that Chipotle. Okay, where are we even talking about? Trust. So we want to be followed online. We want people to watch our content, like our content, know we're good for it. We want to be known for something. But if you're not showing up regularly, it'll never build that trust. When you become predictable, you're starting to get closer to momentum on YouTube. Here's what I mean. When someone's like, oh, that's the guy. Like these days, people are like, oh, that's the guy who talks about video. Oh, that's the guy who helped me find my camera. Oh, that's the guy. Who are you? That's the guy or that's the girl. Who are you? Oh, that's that homeschool channel that's really helpful. Oh, that's that channel that helps me with my nomadic lifestyle and helps me convert my RV bus. That's the channel that helps me with my taxes. Oh, that's where I get my news. Oh, that's but the only way you can become known and trusted is if you're consistently repeating something specific. By the way, if you're like talking about 100 different topics, and we always talk about the power of focus and having a niche and clarity, then I don't know even who you are. It's like one day you were talking about this and one day you were talking about that. And I'm like, she's kind of like a personal development person that's like sort of about beauty and is now into keto. And apparently she's vegan too. And she's helping people manifest their dreams. And there's different things like that could work. But if you confuse, you lose. And if you want to build momentum in a brand, you got to keep showing up consistently. The fourth thing is your brand. My belief is that a brand is built strongest, not by your website. Dude, my website kind of sucks. Maybe my brand does too. But your brand becomes strongest by content that's consistent. That what you do is you say, okay, this is what I'm talking about. And then what you do is you keep talking about it. And then after a year or two, people go, oh, that's the person that talks about that thing all the time. And that's when you've done it. Like now you're the brand. Like you're like, oh, that's the person. You know what I mean? Like by that repetition of a clear and concise message. And so now that I've been doing this for a couple years, the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video influencers is Align, help you build your influence, income, and impact with online video. If you come here, you're going to get video. I'm not going to help your chess game get better. I'm not going to help your chest game get better because I don't got the muscles and I don't got the strategy on the chessboard. But I'm going to help you grow your YouTube channel. I'm going to help you build a business around being a content creator. I'm going to help you learn affiliate marketing, how to create multiple streams of income, how to learn your camera, how to find the best tools. So I found my niche, and that's not what we're talking about today. We have content on that. And that's what you need to do. And you build a brand because guess what? After 100 videos of a consistent message, trust me, you'll have some momentum in your brand. But let me tell you this, if you went and spent $10,000 on the perfect website and the perfect photo shoot and the perfect whatever, dude, it's not gonna matter, man. Because when you start putting out content that gets an end result for people, that's what builds dude, I don't care about your website. Lisa? Sorry, I just made that up, but I don't care. Like, But when I start seeing your videos, like, oh man, that guy just keeps popping up in my feed. She keeps popping up in my feed with that consistent message. Oh, I'm starting to recognize her for that. I know her for that. So it builds your brand. 5 reasons why consistency is so important on YouTube is it builds confidence. It'll build your competence, your skills, your mastery, your abilities. It'll build trust. You want to have a predictable interaction with your audience, and over time they begin to trust you and know you for something, and it'll build your brand. But the 5th thing it'll build is momentum. And this, of course, is just the fact that you can trigger the YouTube algorithm. And a couple reasons why it'll build momentum. YouTube does want consistent content. And too often, I'm gonna call you out again, when I do channel reviews on Think Media, when I see people in our community, they'll ask a question about YouTube. What is the, Sean, can you help me get more views? First thing I do, they'll ask in a YouTube comment, I click through. I read our comments, I read all of them. I go through, I can't necessarily respond to all. And eventually, I probably don't read all of them on older videos, but in a window of time on the newest videos, I'm reading them, I'm seeing. So then someone says, hey, can you help me get views? Click through. It's been 6 months. They have 4 videos. One 5 months ago, one 2 months ago, one a couple days ago, about 5 different things. Why? Because a sign you'll be successful is not if you're just chaotic and everywhere, right? But you're clear and going in one direction. So then I'm like, okay, so you're not actually posting consistently, and you're not posting with any clarity. Tip number 1 and 2 is like, do this before you even want the advanced stuff. Look, you can go deep with us in our business. We got some advanced. We just finished recording the YouTube Hypergrowth Blueprint. This thing is insane. I shouldn't even be telling you about it. It's the most proud accomplishment I've ever made so far as how good I feel about the training and the content. But to be honest, most of you probably shouldn't even watch it yet. Because if you aren't doing courage, clarity, and consistency yet, then don't start looking for some other tip. Maybe you need to even turn this video off and do courage, consistency with some clarity first, because then, look, we'll help you tweak that thing. We'll help you scale and add like gasoline to the momentum you build by building action, by taking action. But the reason you want consistency is so important is you're gonna trigger the YouTube algorithm, and there's a compound effect. When you put out consistent videos, maybe they're just like getting 100 views wherever you're at, 1,000 views. But when you're consistent is your greatest opportunity for a viral breakout. I've just committed to consistency here on Think Media. I never knew what would blow up, what wouldn't. I mean, I guess I actually did I have known, and I've been very intentional, but I guess I never was like putting all of my ducks in one basket, all my eggs in one basket. I was like, look, I just need to get consistent videos out. A couple years ago, put out a video called How to Get Free Stuff on Amazon. It got like 3 million views. So weird. Like, I didn't even know that would be the one, but what did I know? That I was always going to do my research before I press record. I was always going to be strategic. I was always going to hope and pray for a viral video, but I wasn't going to stop there. I was going to roll up my sleeves and get to work right after that and just keep posting consistent videos. And by doing that, I've had momentum. And then some videos blow up and get 50K. These are our numbers these days. And some might get 100, and some are hitting 500. Some hit 1 million right now, and some hit 2,000. But I'm just committed to consistency. And so if a sign you'll be successful on YouTube is being committed to the process and being committed to being consistent. Remember, overnight success never happens overnight. So, hey, I got that bonus strategy for you in just a second. If you want to win a copy of YouTube Secrets, just leave a comment answering the question of the day. That'll be available when the video is on replay, because the live chat gets locked down. So come back to do that. And actually, hey, if you've actually already invested in YouTube Secrets, whether the ebook, the audiobook's out now, or the physical book, and you've never heard about the bonuses we have, like maybe you've already got the book and you didn't hear that we have over $100 of bonuses, including a free action guide that'll help you get massive clarity. You might right now be like, okay, well, Sean, I want that boost of courage. I do want to figure out my clarity, but I don't know my niche. I'm not actually sure what I should talk about, or I'm not sure. There's 46 different things. This action guide will help you. It is like a multi-page. You can print it out or just use it to like trigger questions for you or whatever. But That free action guide, it's all free if you've picked up a copy of the book, ebook, audiobook, whatever, as well as some advanced training, an hour-long video you get with that. tubesecretsbook.com to claim your bonuses. And so check that out. But hey, check out this bonus YouTube strategy that answers these questions. Here's some questions that people have. It makes sense. What videos should I make? What topics will be popular? And then also, what videos have the most potential to get views? Good questions, yeah? And so if you think about like, what videos should you be putting out there into the world? What videos have the potential to get the most views? And so here's just a quick power tip that you could apply. 4 steps for quickly and easily coming up with strong video ideas and titles. Number 1 is identify a growing channel in your niche or an adjacent niche. Okay, so number 1 is identify a channel related to your, what's niche mean? In America, it's niche, people say, and it is niche technically. Identify a growing channel in your niche or an adjacent niche. So if I'm just starting and I'm talking about gardening, I want to go look at what channels are growing talking about gardening or similar things that I'm talking about. Now, you also might say, if I'm in like, let's say home gardening or floral arrangements around my home, I actually might go look at a wedding channel because they might have topics related to mine as well. So for me, I could look at other peers of mine and some of my friends like Sonny or, Roberto or Tim or Daryl or Owen or, these guys. And I could look at the topics they're hitting, as I should, and see, okay, what's, or if they're growing, I could look at their channels. But I also look at like entrepreneur channels and, of course, business channels, because that's also for us. But even adjacent, I'll look at channels in personal development, even traditional YouTube channels. So first of all, just identify a growing channel that's related to yours, okay? Number 2 is go to their videos page on YouTube, their videos page on YouTube. Number 3 is you want to sort by most popular. And then number 4, look for smart video and title ideas. So let me show you how I did this today for this very video. So this video is called 3 Signs You'll Be Successful on YouTube. And I was running this morning, trying to come up with a video idea. So this is a tip. You could see it in action as you're watching this video, right? So I first of all went to Google and I looked up some of the people I like to studying headlines. And I was like, how can I communicate what I want to communicate with the Think Media community today? How should I package this presentation? How should I title it? And so then I went on YouTube, and the first channel, it was lucky, it was the first channel I thought of, but I was like, I wonder what, Valuetainment, let me go to Valuetainment, a highly recommended channel for building a business. I love Patrick Bet-David, great content. And so went to his videos, and this is the tip, right? So this is like an adjacent channel. I talk really about video and building your influence with video, but you'll learn too that we go into business and entrepreneurship, and they're pure entrepreneurship and business building. So then I would come over here and I'd say, put an order of most popular. What have I done here? Now, we know they're a proven channel, we know they're a growing channel, and we know these are their most popular videos now on their video page. So now, what I'm gonna look for is the video ideas that stood out the most, that got the most views, because if these videos are proven to work on someone who has a larger channel, then the topic, the subject matter, and the title has at some level proven to work. Follow my logic here? So you can then immediately see how what happened was then I was like, okay, boom, second video that is their most popular, 2 years old, 7 signs you are going to be successful. Welcome to my video called 3 Signs You Are Going to Be Successful on YouTube. So see what I did there is, you might be saying, well, you're like ripping them off. Well, it's an entirely different video. Dude, nothing new is under the sun. Steve Jobs said, quoting Pablo Picasso, good artist copy, great artist steal, right? And so I think you got to give credit and whatever, but like it's just what I used was I kind of used it as an angle. I knew that it was proven because I saw it here, kind of catchy. And so I got a title idea. I got kind of a topic idea of how I was going to arrange this, but then I pulled it into my own niche. Obviously, a completely different video. He's talking about like life and business, period. And I'm talking about 3 signs you're going to be successful on YouTube. So that's just a quick way you could go kind of pull some inspiration, think about how you could look through people's videos, and then 12 mistakes I made in my first year as an entrepreneur. I just got another idea. If you 2 weeks from now, I might be like, 7 mistakes I made my first year as a YouTuber. Wait for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's probably, and that was just another one I just saw. So I hope that serves you just as a way, of course, always, don't just exactly copy, but get inspired. Success leaves clues. And what's cool about YouTube is it's like a database of what's working, what's not working. So you don't want to just create content in a bubble without looking outside of it. Think about how you can actually create content that's been proven to work. If you enjoyed that tip, smash like. You can screenshot these tips because I'm moving on. That's the 4 steps for quickly and easily coming up with strong video ideas and titles. And that took me minutes, right? So it's like a fast, kind of a cool way to do that. Remember this, Zig Ziglar says, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. In the book, the first C is courage. We shared a lot of value in this. If you got value, tell me in the comments, but you gotta start. If you haven't started, get your first video up this week. And if you wanna check out some additional value, the YouTube Secrets is kind of a big announcement. This is our launch week for YouTube Secrets, the audiobook. And that's out now. And what's actually cool is if you don't have an Audible account, you can get YouTube Secrets for free. You can actually get if you just sign up for a free 30-day trial on Audible, you can download it. To get all the details, just go to tubesecretsaudio.com, and that will serve you and help you there. But I want to say thanks so much for being here on the live training. Thanks for the feedback. I see people saying they got value. Proline, thanks for picking up the book. Jason, thanks. I'm glad this was valuable. Honey, thanks for being here. Simple Woodworking, really appreciate you. Yeah, if you want to check out Tube Secrets audio book, check that out. And then I'm going to do the question of the day. I'll give away 2 copies of the book. You can see the terms or when it ends in the YouTube description. And so all you got to do is answer the question of the day in the real comments of this video once the replay is up, which is, how many videos have you uploaded on YouTube? How many videos have you uploaded on YouTube so far? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you want to check out a video on our whole playlist on how to start and grow on YouTube, click or tap the screen right there. If you want to watch another video, click or tap the screen right there. Remember, this channel is all about helping you with the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. Keep crushing it, and we will talk soon.